Some women have a sixth sense about these things, but I was not one of them. I thought I had the perfect life, a loving husband, a beautiful home in the heart of Miami's immigrant community, and a future that was supposed to be filled with promise. Lorenzo and I met in college, and from the moment we started dating, I knew he was the one. Or so I thought. We were each other's everything. He was my rock, my confidant, my best friend. I was his biggest supporter, always encouraging him to chase his dreams. We talked about our future, about building a life together. He proposed to me during our senior year, and I said yes without a second thought. We got married shortly after graduation, and I started graduate school while he worked to provide for us. At first, everything seemed perfect. He was my everything, and I was his. But looking back, there were signs that I ignored. He was always extremely protective of his phone, always making sure it was within arm's reach. He got defensive whenever I asked about his day, telling me I was being paranoid, that I did not trust him. And then there was the working out. He started obsessively hitting the gym, making sure he looked good for who, I did not know. I brushed it off as him just trying to be healthy. But deep down, I knew something was off. I just did not want to believe it. I did not want to think that the man I loved could be capable of hurting me. But then, things started to add up. I noticed charges on our credit card for places I'd never been. At first, I thought maybe he was just surprising me with a gift or something, but as I looked closer, I realized these were weekend getaways. He was lying to me about where he was every weekend, and I had no idea where. It started to feel like my whole world was crumbling around me. I felt like I was losing my grip on reality. I began to doubt myself, to wonder if I was just being paranoid, if I was just being insecure. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this was not just about me. It was about him, about his actions. And then, there was the moment he flinched away from my touch. We were in bed, and I reached out to caress his face, but he jerked away, telling me he was tired. That was it. That was the moment I knew something was seriously wrong. I started to investigate, to dig deeper. And what I found, it was like a punch to the gut. He had proposed to another woman, the same week he proposed to me. I could not breathe. I felt like I had been living a lie. I did not know what to do, so I turned to my grandmother. She had always been my rock, my guiding light. I told her everything, and she listened, her eyes filled with tears. "You're worth so much more than this, Mija," she said, her voice shaking with emotion. "You deserve to be loved, to be cherished, not used and discarded like a piece of trash." Her words gave me the strength to confront him. I gathered my friends and family, and we set up an intervention. Lorenzo walked into the room, a smug look on his face, but as he saw the people I had gathered, his expression changed. "What's going on?" he asked, his voice laced with condescension. "You know exactly what's going on," I said, my voice shaking with anger. "I know about the other woman. I know about the proposals. I know about the lies." He looked taken aback, but then his expression hardened. "You're just being paranoid," he said. "You're just insecure," but I was not having it. I had proof, and I was not going to let him gaslight me into thinking I was crazy. "You're the one who's been lying to me," I said, my voice rising. "You're the one who's been using me, manipulating me. You're the one who's been cheating on me." His mother walked into the room, tears streaming down her face. "I am so sorry, Mija," she said, her voice shaking. "I am sorry I raised him to be this way. I am sorry I did not teach him how to love." Lorenzo's face turned red with anger, but I just looked at him, my heart filled with a sense of sadness. "I loved you," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "I loved you, and you threw it all away. It was over. Our relationship was over, and I was finally free. I was finally free to pick up the pieces of my shattered heart, to rebuild my sense of self-worth and identity. I was finally free to move on, to find someone who would love me for who I am." As I looked at Lorenzo, I felt a sense of strength that I never knew I had. I felt a sense of power that came from knowing I deserved better. I deserved to be loved, to be cherished. And I was going to make sure that I found it.